Hello, Tandlers, and welcome to our Season 3 opener of TandL Talks. Can you believe this is our third season of celebrating fabulous educators? I'm your host, Nancy, and I am here with two new hosts who are going to join me on this podcast. Can you please tell me who you are?
Well, hello, Tandlers. I'm Amanda Kraft. Some of you know me as Mandy, and I'm the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning.
Hello out there. This is Candice McGregor. I'm the Assistant Director in Teaching and Learning.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for joining me as hosts this year. Let's talk a little bit about how TandL Talks started. So I gave this on the very first episode, but not everybody heard it or remembers it. So often people will say, "What's a TandL?" What is a TandL?
What is a TandL?
That's a great question.
So if you remember, we were in a meeting once and somebody had abbreviated teaching and learning as TandL.
TandL?
And I thought it was such a funny word. And then when we decided to do a podcast, I'm like, duh, it has to be called TandL because it's just a fun word. It's a fun word. It's fun to say. I love it that it's a little mysterious, but now our Tandlers know the reason for the word.
We'll have to poll them. Do they know TandL?
Yes.
Pop quiz.
Yes.
Teaching and learning.
Yes. I love it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you currently do in Puyallup.
Oh my gosh, I'll start. The work. Let me first tell you about myself. I am a product of the Puyallup School District. I love this place with all of my heart and everything in me. I went to Spinning Elementary as a little tiny kindergarten. I took my picture outside of the stump every single year. And it's just a place that I have grown to love. And then what's really cool is when I was in high school, I did ed careers, and guess where I went back to? Spinning Elementary. Aww. And I worked there and helped teachers along with Stewart's teachers. And then I did my student teaching at Spinning Elementary, and I went on to be a teacher at Fir Grove Elementary, and I got the great privilege to open Edgerton Elementary from the ground up. And at that time, you could pick your own furniture. I helped pick the colors. I had a very unique classroom that after I left, people are like, what is happening in here? There's no legs on tables, and there's a table that is a circle that fits 12 people. And then I got to become an instructional coach in a variety of different capacities under a variety of different funding sources. And then I went back and got my administration credentials and became the director of professional learning. Still to this day, don't tell anyone, it's my favorite job ever. Just working with people to help create professional learning and deliver content to people who select to come to your classes because they want to learn something really cool. That was just a ton of fun. And just through different mentorship and different leaders, I have ended up as the executive director of teaching and learning, I don't even know now, the last 5-6 years. And it has just every year become more fun. Challenging, nonetheless, but fun. Yeah. I love my job. I love working with the two of you particularly.
Aw,
back at you.
And all the
That's
teachers
sweet.
we get to work with.
What a journey.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I did not grow up in Puyallup. I feel like maybe I missed out on something there, but I did not ever know I was going to end up in education. I actually thought I was going to be a dentist. Oh. So, yeah, I just, 2 years of college math and science broke me. And here I thought, I want to do something different. But I volunteered in a classroom when I was attending college, and I loved it. And I never knew I would end up here. So I started my career at Chief Leschi as an elementary teacher. And that was an amazing experience. I spent 7 years there, and then I came to Puyallup taught at Stewart as third grade and a lap, and started doing some professional learning with Mandy. I remember, I love this, telling this story. I remember going to a professional learning, and I was like, what is that lady's job? That seems really fun.
She took it.
Yeah, here I am today. But I got to attend and be a part of a lot of professional learning and thought, I really like working with adults. So I did some new teacher mentorship, instructional coaching, and then a couple years ago, got my admin credentials, and here I am as assistant director, hanging out with you two beautiful people.
Great. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I also did not grow up in Puyallup. I grew up in Vancouver, Washington, Evergreen High School, home of the Plainsmen. How I landed here in Puyallup is, honestly, I went to the job fair at the Tacoma Dome, and Puyallup was the first place that offered me a job. I will also say I was a special ed teacher, so that was kind of easy. So I was a special ed teacher at Fergo.
Easy to get a job.
Easy
Not
to
an
get.
easy
Correct.
job.
Correct. But I was a special ed teacher at Fir Grove because most people have a Fir Grove connection.
Sorry, Candice.
Yeah.
I know. Out again.
You're young.
There's still time.
There's still time. And I was a special ed teacher at Meeker Elementary in the corner classroom. I still drive by and I love that place. And did my internship there. Then I became a special ed administrator. I became a principal. I was a principal of a few different schools. And then I landed down here at Teaching and Learning, where I've done a whole bunch of different stuff. I told Mandy when I started this job that it wasn't at the time my favorite job, but every job becomes my favorite job. And so guess what? Now this job is my favorite job I've ever had. So
There you go.
Love it.
And funny story, Tandlers. We used to say that Nancy was the junk drawer of teaching and learning because she just had to do like all of the things that weren't assigned to somebody. And it was like, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, you're going to do this. I think you still do all of those things, but you actually aren't the junk drawer.
We're all the junk drawer
we
now.
all are. Yes.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about all of our stories is that we've all had leadership opportunities here in Puyallup. And I think that's so important for our teachers to know, for that young teacher who thinks maybe someday I want to do something a little different. The beauty of this district and the size of this district is there are so many opportunities. And like I think of our mentors and the work, Candice, that you do with our mentors, that is such a great leadership opportunity, especially for those people who don't want to leave the classroom, right?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's my first taste of like leaving the classroom was getting an opportunity to visit other classrooms, let people visit my classroom, and I was still getting to be with kids every day, and I loved that experience. It was a good first jump out.
Right.
I bet we can all think of mentors we've had in this particular school district that have pushed us, that have gotten us to where we're at. And without them, I think I wouldn't be where I'm at. A little nudge.
Right.
Dr. Vincent Pecchia saying, you can do hard things.
Yeah.
You're going to go ahead and try this.
Yeah.
Negotiable.
So that brings me to a question that I usually ask at the beginning of interviews, but is there a teacher who had a big impact on you, maybe when you were a student or as a professional? Who's a teacher who influenced you?
Some of you, if you're listening out there, I've shared this story at trainings before, but the first person that always comes to my mind is Ken Fiddler, who was my science teacher. He's retired now. Randomly, I got to run into him a couple of years ago and thank him. But I didn't do very well in science. And in fact, I think I got a C in his classroom. But he's just one of those people that was just always there, right? It's that old quote, right? People remember how you treat them, not necessarily what you have. So he always showed up with kindness and grace and helped me love a course that was very challenging for me. And in fact, he was the only teacher I invited to my high school graduation. I still have the card that he wrote me to this day, and like a scrapbook that I just remember that he showed up. He didn't have to come, and he showed up and said, you're going to be great one day. And so that's who I remember. And then also, I remember elementary teachers that weren't actually my teachers. Some of you might know Kathy Shaw,
Yes.
who I didn't even have for 6th grade at Spinning Elementary. And yet she is a pivotal person in my journey that I just remember being this influence in the school. Sometimes strong influence, like you are a little afraid, don't run down the hall near Kathy Shaw. And also the warm, she's gonna love and care for you no matter how you show up in that space. And I don't even have her as a teacher, but she's somebody that I've just always thought was this is a great human. And I'm so glad that she was with kids.
I love that. Yeah, I think that because I didn't think about going into education until so late, a lot of the folks I think of when I think of who's impacted me the most are the leaders I've had along the way. Both of you, of course, right? And the ones who challenged me to do scary things, like you said about your teacher. When I first started, I had a really rough first couple of years, and I thought, maybe this isn't for me. And I think probably everybody goes through a little doubt that way, but I had a few mentors, one of which is now my husband. We started teaching together, and they just pushed me. And they said, no, this is for you. I can tell. You don't have to be perfect at it ever, but especially not yet. And I think that message of it's scary and it's supposed to be, or it's challenging, it's hard, it's draining, and it's supposed to be. That's how you know you're doing it right. If you're exhausted and emotional, you're probably doing it right. But I think when I first came to Puyallup, my principal at the time, Abigail Chandler, shout out, I had just started in Puyallup, and she said, hey, new science curriculum, and all the elementary principals need to see somebody teach it. And she asked the staff, nobody volunteered, and then she came and she said, I know you just got here, but what do you think? And I was like, bring them on in. And so all of a sudden there were 30 chairs in the back of my classroom, and I was terrified, but I'm so glad that she trusted me and challenged me. And I think that's the kind of leader I hope to be, is that you find the people you believe in and help them feel that way about themselves.
Love that. I'll tell you about my teacher that sticks with me. We're friends on Facebook. I'll probably send her the link to this podcast because it's important. But her name at the time was Miss Odell. She was a brand new teacher, or a second-year teacher maybe, and then got married, and she has a different name now. But she was my third grade teacher, and I remember on the first day of third grade, we were doing some sort of worksheet or something, and she leaned down and whispered in my ear, my name's Nancy too. And, Nancy isn't a super common name. And that just instantly connected me to her. And interestingly, so in third grade, this was 8 million years ago, she had a slumber party for all of the girls in her third and fourth grade class.
Oh, wow.
At her house.
Oh. Okay.
At her house. We all remember it. Anybody who was in Miss Odell's third or fourth grade class.
Different times.
Yes, do not do that. We do not do slumber parties at teachers' houses anymore. But it was that connection, that thing that we know about good teachers is they build relationships. Yes, they build community. And that was how Miss Odell did that back in the 70s. What has been really impactful for me about just her telling me that her name was Nancy, I didn't realize this until much, much later, but when I think about my instant connection to her just because of that thing, and then I think about kids who look different or come from different backgrounds, and when they see a teacher who looks like them or speaks the same language as them or has some kind of connection, that representation matters. And it mattered to me in a very little way. But to kids who don't have anybody in their life like that, when we have diverse representation of our staff members, that makes a huge difference for kids. So I never made that connection until much, much later in my career. So thank you for sharing. I love these stories because it's just that constant theme, first of all, about relationships, but also the fact that teachers matter so much.
Yeah,
right?
they're the only real superheroes of the world.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Agreed.
Remember a couple years ago,
Yes.
that was our theme. You are an actual superhero. You save lives.
Yes. Yes.
That's what you do. Yep.
And every single adult can tell you about that teacher or that classroom. It's that lasting connection that teachers have the power to build and maintain. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So thanks for sharing your stories. So let's talk a little bit about your work right now. What's bringing you joy in your work?
Oh my goodness. Yep, I'm going to go.
Get it.
So
Get it.
I know, right? It's the end of July, which means August is coming. And I know a lot of you are hopefully relaxing right now, but we are gearing up for new educator orientation week.
Ripping up.
And
Let's
I
go.
am pumped. I am so pumped. I love this week. It's one of my favorite days is new teacher orientation and just welcoming people to Puyallup and saying, this is who we are. You're part of our family now, and getting to experience their joy and excitement. It really energizes me for the year. It's a great way to start. It's a long week full of lots of events to get them going and make sure they have what they need to be successful. And a lot of people put work into that week. And so getting ready for that is driving me right now. I'm very excited. I'm ready.
I mean, I feel like you just stole my thunder.
Oh,
If
sorry.
you can see the smile on Candice's face, you would know the joy also. Sure, you can hear it, but I would agree with Candice. The joy of New Educator Week, it feels so good. Right? I just think the beginning of the year, just new beginnings, new energy, everybody's refreshed. And it feels good to be in spaces where people are choosing to work in Puyallup because this is a great place to be. And creating moments that matter creates lasting impact for employees. So that's always something I try to center, like, how do I want to welcome people into this district and how do I want them to feel? Because they're only going to remember 10% of what we actually say on that day. But
So
if
true.
they can remember how they felt, that's going to transfer into how they show up for kids and how they show up for families. And the energy in that space, I'm already excited about it because it just is magical that day. And also, I have to say, Admin Week is also that way. When we welcome all of our administrators back next week on Tuesday, the joy that fills that space when we haven't seen each other for a month, and some of us even longer because we don't always get together, it's just this connection that we're all in it, we're all here for the right reasons, and we're all ready. Like, let's get ready to bring kids back to school so they have safe spaces to learn and be loved and safe.
Yep.
Yeah, so much joy at the beginning of the year.
You know what else I love about the New Teacher Week is it is so fun to see brand new teachers who I knew as students, right? It's the cutest. It's so cute. There was a teacher last year, Allie Wirtz.
Another shout out.
Yep, shout out to Allie, who was a brand new teacher last year. And I remember spotting her in the hallway when I was the brand new principal at Brulette Elementary, and she was maybe 5th grade. And she was herding a bunch of little kids. I didn't know her mom was a teacher, but I thought, who is that 12-year-old or 10-year-old? And she needs to be a teacher. I would like to hire her right now. And so it was super exciting to see.
Manifested it.
It was so exciting to see her for real be a grown-up teacher.
Yeah.
And I heard she knocked it out of the park last year.
Right?
So
I think the latter of that brings a lot of joy, but what brings me even more joy is when people are veteran teachers and they come that week and they say to us,
Oh,
wow, this is the best welcoming I've ever had, and I've been in 3 districts.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
this feels so good. Thank you so
Yes.
much. And you're thinking, like, that's real.
that feels like a win.
It feels like the
Huge
biggest
win.
win ever.
Yeah.
And then we get to read the feedback and we ask people to share, like, can you please share somebody that's helped you along this journey in your welcoming week so we can share the love with them? And then even though it takes us so long to send these emails, it is a bucket filler for me to send an email to, I don't know, Tina Lemer, who helped a staff member get whatever they need in human resources, an email that says, you made a difference in this teacher's life as we welcomed them to Puyallup. Here's what they said about you. And then they send us an email back like, thank you so much for sharing this. Like, just like all of those pieces. So it's self-serving because I feel like us serving others feels good.
For sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and celebrating, right? I think education is so hard. It's a really, really hard job. And we don't always get that feedback that we're doing great things for kids and adults. And that's just a way to get that feedback out to people that what you did, that thing that you didn't even think about, made a difference for this person.
Well, Strobel, I think what you just did is such a great transition, because I said to her earlier today, so, what's our theme? And she said, the only theme there is celebrating the greatness that happens in Puyallup. And if for some of you who don't know, our mission is that, and our goal really is, it's a tradition of excellence. And then this podcast is designed to celebrate and share the tradition of excellence that we see across this district, because often it's hidden.
Correct.
We don't see it. We hear about it sometimes, but unless you're living it or you walked past that classroom, you don't know. And there are so many beautiful things to celebrate in this school district, and this team is here to do that.
Yes.
To say, look at the greatness that's happening, because teaching is hard.
Yes.
It is an incredibly difficult job. There's something I say in the Danielson framework, and I stole it from somebody else, but they say teaching is so complex and so difficult, and we serve so many students at once, right? That's what happens in an emergency room, but they only serve one person at a time, right? The complexities that a doctor faces is at one person at a time. Some of you have 38 kids in your class.
Yes.
Your jobs are incredibly difficult, so we're here to celebrate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I started TandL Talks, really, is in this job, in any leadership job I've had, I was able to have such great, deep discussions with teachers. And I'd always think, I wish somebody else could hear this. I wish somebody else could hear this, because there's just great things happening, and it's just fabulous to listen to teachers. And any of us who are teachers also, this isn't just a job for us, right? This is our hobby. This is our passion. This is what we want to read about. It's what we want to listen about.
Yeah, it becomes our identity.
Yes, very much so. And I thought, I've got to share the voices of our teachers, because so many great things are happening. And we've got to elevate their voices for sure. And our paraeducators and our support staff.
And our students.
And our students.
Right? Like highlighting the amazing things that are happening to and for them because of teachers, and letting our students tell us, this teacher made a difference.
Yes.
And here's how and why.
Yes.
Because that also is a celebration.
Absolutely.
Kids recognize the excellence that's happening in their spaces and their classrooms, and letting them share the stories also creates a different type of impact than us sharing the story.
Yep, for sure. So looking back, what's something your first-year teacher self would be surprised to learn about where you are today?
I'm still here.
I would look back and be like, wow, you're now actually in charge of all the curriculum that the district is putting in front of kids. I think my new teacher self would be like, what? Because I think 25 years ago, I don't even know if, I think I was making up math curriculum at that point. Like, I don't even remember, I had what was the rolling thing with the ink pens, the vis-a-vis?
The projector.
Yes, the overhead projector.
All over your forearm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd have ink on my hands, and I think about all the math problems I would write on there. And now here we are with a team of people that get to create and select. And so I think myself would say, I wouldn't believe it if you told me, like, someday you're going to pick out or work with a team of teachers to pick out what kids will learn.
Right.
Mind blowing.
That's exciting.
I hardly can believe that I'm doing that now.
I'll sometimes think my whole career, it's that imposter syndrome, right? It's like, who put me in charge? Do they know it? Do they know what I know and what I don't know?
Every day. Who's letting me make this decision right now? I don't know. Very exciting. Yeah, my younger self would be shocked that I'm still here. My first couple of years, like I said, rough. I thought I was going to get fired. I think I was creative and I could lesson plan really well, but the execution every day was just a nightmare. Just a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights.
What happens when you're
It's
a
hard.
Teacher. It's hard.
It's so hard,
hard.
And I'll say a little stubborn, okay? I was stuck on some things that, I had to let them go. So I am shocked I'm still here, but I'm very happy to be here. And same, right? I thought I was going to work with kids forever, and here I am, and I'm working with adults and loving it and still impacting students. But
Your
it's
baby
been a
teacher
journey.
self would have been surprised to know that you are a glad trainer and a facilitator
Right.
of all amazing
Yes.
instruction.
There you go. That's
I
right.
would not be surprised because you're brilliant.
Yeah, working with mentors that should have been around for everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That I used to say, and some of you have been around as long as I have, which I'm literally only like 5 years into my career. So Nita Green, I used to say, I'm going to be Nita Green when I grow up because she got to mentor new employees to the district and take them around and help them. And I just loved that idea that we can help support adults through their new jobs.
Right.
Yep.
I think one thing that would have surprised me is just being in a position at the district level. I remember even as an intern being so nervous about even walking into the building at ESC. If I had a meeting at ESC, I had to think about what I was going to wear, and I was so nervous. And to think that this is my primary place of work and it's where I belong. And then I think too, how do we make sure that every single employee feels like they belong in this building? I wish I wouldn't have felt intimidated to walk in this building, and I want to create a space that feels welcoming to our employees.
Yeah.
Come on into the clubhouse.
Yes, the TandL Clubhouse right
You're
here.
always welcome here.
All the cool kids are here. Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably a real feeling for people out there still. I love that you said it's one of the challenges that we have is how do we create spaces that are open and welcoming and inclusive for all people, no matter the level of which you work in an organization.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we're all serving kids.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here for kids.
Yep.
So speaking of that, what do you believe every student deserves to experience in our schools?
She just said it. We want them to feel like they belong here. They're loved, they're cared for, and curiosity and love to learn. That's what they deserve. A space where they can be themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's something that I've tried to preach for a decade now is that every kid deserves to feel like they belong. They should feel safe and loved, but they should experience rigor and challenge no matter their background or ethnicity or demographics of where they live, right? We should love kids and we should teach hard things and expect big outcomes.
Yeah.
Because they deserve that from us. Yeah, but they have to feel safe and they feel like this is a place I want to be at because people care about me and I know they care about me.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a boss at the beginning of my career, and I was working with a set of kids that needed that. They needed a place to belong and feel safe first. And he said, we need to make every day feel like they're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Every day, whatever their Disneyland is to them. And he made that clear to the staff. That's your role. And that's not the same for every kid. And so to figure out, that was part of the puzzle, and that's why this job is so challenging, is to figure out what is it that's going to make a kid want to come every day, work hard, learn cool things, and feel good about themselves. It was a good lesson to learn early on.
Yep. Yep. When you walk into a classroom, what signs tell you that meaningful learning is happening? Like real intellectual engagement.
Oh, big pivot just right away. Hands on, minds on, Strobel.
Yes.
Right? Kids are in deep thought and process, and it's not a space. I think this idea of constructivism, right, where students are constructing their own learning and their experiences, and teachers are there to help shift and guide. They don't have to be necessarily the expert of all things, but they should be an expert on how to engage kids cognitively in content that is challenging and rigorous without quitting. And kids should want that. They don't want to be bored in classrooms. That's task completion and super easy, right? You know, when a class, it's like you get this gut feeling like, wow, this is a space where deep learning's happening. There's this buzz in the classroom where they're questioning each other, they're asking, they're showing their learning in a variety of different ways. Tandlers, if you're listening, we all have biases that we come with, but like a silent classroom, the class kids that all sit in rows, so there's deep thinking that can occur in independent work, but I would say that learning's social. Humans are social.
Yeah.
Like we are meant to live in community and learn from each other. And a classroom that has hands-on and minds-on, I would say most of the time is engaged in deep thinking with one another to produce products and work. right? Or better than an individual could do in isolation.
Yeah. I think about when I was in the classroom and I thought I was really rocking it. And it was a little bit of what you just described, right? It was like students sitting with their hands folded and answering when they were supposed to and completing the tasks really well.
Yes.
But not a lot of agency or, right, like them being curious and moving the lesson in a direction that they wanted to see it go. And I think that's meaningful engagement, is when they're feeling ownership over what they want to learn and what they're curious about, and that has an impact on how the teacher's facilitating the learning, right? Not just delivering the information. And man, put me back in a classroom right now, after everything I've seen through my years of mentorship and professional learning, I would be 100 times better, 100 times better after what I've seen and what I've learned and what we've all learned together about what engagement is.
Right. It'll look a little different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But that's scary.
Yeah.
As a teacher.
Yes.
I think we ask teachers to have classrooms that are intellectually engaged, and that means that we have to let go of control.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you have 30 bodies in your classroom and you let them drive the learning, control a space, that is scary.
And it's not day one.
No.
Right? Like, we don't
There's
step in and let that happen.
have to be put in place
exactly.
before that happens. But, I mean, I think when teachers listen to us, like, we understand that takes work and it's process, and there's a gradual release of responsibility, and sometimes you've got to be in control and you got to be the driver. But we hope that you get to a space where you feel like you've created the opportunities for kids to drive and experience their learning and show their learning in a variety of ways. Not every kid has to take the same test.
Right.
Right? Like, there's ways that we can show product completion and learning other than in a traditional assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when I'm in a classroom and I see the teacher taking a step back because kids are leading the learning, right? And I always think with that too, it looks supernatural and really easy. And my teacher brain knows, oh, this took so much work to get here. This doesn't happen this isn't just, breezing into it. Oh my gosh, this teacher has worked endlessly with her class to get them to that point where he or she can step back and let kids take the lead on their learning. And that's magical.
The mentors, when they take new teachers to go visit other classrooms, that's part of the message, is not only what do you see happening, what are the teachers doing, what are the students doing, but what do you think happened to lead up to that? It's not magic. Let's think back, or let's ask them in the debrief, how did you get there?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, though, the beauty of, I think back to when I was a fourth grade teacher, I looped with my fifth grade. Fifth grade, thank you. When I was a fourth grade teacher, I looped with my looped up with my fifth graders, and I would, principals,
it's so
have
good.
teachers loop.
It's so good.
As scary as it is, it was like the best thing I
Yes.
ever did. The connections I still have with those families, they reach out to you and you're like, oh, was this their fourth and fifth grade teacher? I love those kids. I love those families, but I could start on day one. It didn't take me 6 weeks.
Exactly.
I only had 3 new kids one year, and all the kids, they knew from day one how to check in, how to sign in. They knew where their folders, they ran the class. And I was like, I was standing there thinking like, this is going to be the best year of my life. It was magical. And I looped, I think, 6 years. I did it 3 times in a row. And I think if we could create a structure and a system for kids and teachers that they felt like, oh, I can do this. One, it also made me a better teacher. When I went back to 4th grade and I knew the 5th grade material, I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, 4th graders 5 years ago, because I didn't teach you that. And that was on the science assessment in 5th grade. I just think it's good for kids and good for teachers, but it goes to that. That's when I could just jump right in. It didn't take me 6 weeks to build systems and procedures because they already knew. And they just came along and helped the new kids. Oh, let me show you. They already know.
I love that.
The first day of school when you loop with kids feels like just coming back from winter break.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we'll just do a little refresher and then we're off.
Let's go.
You already know your kids. You know their academics. You know their personalities, all those things. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was magical. Yeah. I'm still thinking about some of those kids and those families. Makes me going back. Someday, going to finish my career in the classroom.
Love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your new role as hosts of TandL Talks.
Yeah.
What excites you about stepping into this new role as a host?
I feel like I've wanted to be a host, and I've been living jealously through Nancy. Like, she did it. She manifested something that I was terrified to do. And now I get to be part of it with you. I just don't get to look as a bystander and say, hey, Nancy, you should really talk to these teachers. They're doing really great. We can do that work together. I'm just also excited to hear stories of teachers.
Yes.
Listening to teachers and to be in a space, even with us right now, you feel the positive energy. And I think about my good friend Sophia, who will say, your neurons are going to mirror each other. And when we're in the same space with the same energy, it just makes you feel good. Like, I'm this space with joy today, and I can't wait to do that with teachers on a regular basis. Just one, also hunt for the good. I feel like I'm treasure hunt.
Yes.
Like, what am I hunting for? Because I know it's out there. When we look for the good, we're going to find the good, and I'm excited to focus on that this year.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. It's a little out of my box of comfort, Tandlers, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I think that something I love about Nancy is that whenever because I don't know everybody, believe it or not, whenever she names somebody, she follows it up with, you know what I love about them? She's great at giving compliments. She's great at celebrating people. She's very genuine and authentic when she does it. And I am looking forward to soaking that up at this table and being in the TandL Clubhouse and celebrating the things we all love about coming to work every day. And I think that's just going to make a much more positive experience.
Yeah. It is a joy for me to do this work. Like I said, this is my favorite job. I love everything about it. But walking out of a TandL Talks interview, I'm always driving home at the end of the day thinking, that was so great. I can't wait for other people to hear it.
Yeah. You know, also, I think it doesn't take very long.
No.
Like, this is going to be a 30-minute conversation to celebrate excellence in like one part of my week. And then we do very minimal editing. It's just like, we're going to record this conversation. We're going to push this out. And we're going to have a small win for the week that's going to build us all up. But it takes so little time to record a conversation that we're going to have anyways.
Exactly.
So that everybody can hear it, because they're amazing and we want the world to see it. Like, it just doesn't take that much time.
It doesn't.
To celebrate people.
Right.
One little drop and a big ripple.
Yeah.
The impact.
Yep. So what voices do you think are especially important for us to amplify through TandL Talks?
I don't want to say everyone, but, you know, we can't see everybody.
Line up.
Who's coming? I appreciate you asking that question, Nancy, because I think as you've been doing this, I've thought about like, how do we create a different audience? Whose voices do we want to hear? And if Tandlers, if you have been you've been on this journey with us, you know that last year we brought in some students to really elevate their voices and their experiences. But we have lots of different ways to celebrate students in our school system. We have very few ways to celebrate excellent educators. And I think elevating the voices of students in support of excellence in the classroom is something I want to continue to do, so that we will see and hear students praise what's happening in classrooms, so that we can mimic those experiences across our larger system. So that's something that I would love our students to be featured occasionally on our podcast, sharing the great stories and the things that they're experiencing by our wonderful educators.
Yep.
I could keep going, but I'm going to pass the mic.
Candice. Pass the mic. I think that some of my favorite episodes I love the student one, of course, but I think when we're celebrating excellence that came after a challenge or a problem being solved. And that feels like a win. That feels, when you hear what somebody struggled with and what they ended up with, that's powerful, because, we keep saying it, but there's a lot of parts of this job that feel like you're doing it alone sometimes.
Right.
And no one here should feel alone. And listening to a story where someone overcame or had a problem, they solved it, or they used to do it this way and now it's much better because I'm doing it this way, that's a learning experience for everybody. Feels good.
How about you? What are you hoping to highlight this year?
I have conversations with teachers, and then I'll think, oh, I need to capture that. Or I think of some of the niche programs that happen in our district that maybe people don't know about. I think of doing the Walker High School. I interviewed 2 teachers last year for different reasons from Walker High School. And I think helping us know that our K-12 system is huge. One thing I've got on my radar right now is our special ed programs for our 18 to 22-year-old students.
Sounds like your call to action there.
I
You're
know,
listening.
right? It's on my list. But I just think there's so many amazing things that happen in all different kinds of settings. I also, one of my very favorite episodes from last year was interviewing our paraeducator mentors. And I think, how do we get more paraeducator voice at the table? Because they were just so amazing. But just trying to find those diverse programs, those diverse situations, and mine them for the magic that happens. See how we can spread the love.
A lot of great things happening here.
So many great things.
We're going to find what we hunt for.
Yep.
There you go.
Always. All right. Thank you both for being here. This has been a great episode. Tandlers, we have so much that is going to happen this year on TandL Talks. I hope you'll follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, because we've got great things happening, including we've got a series on the science of reading coming up soon.
You won't want to miss that.
No.
Because our young learners need you to know this information.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, and I think understanding the science of reading, even for those people who teach intermediate or secondary kids, it's so important. So this is going to be a series of 3 episodes on the science of reading, and I encourage all our Tandlers to listen. Is there any message that you'd like to leave our Tandlers with as we start this new season, season 3?
Yeah, I love you all. I love you for showing up and choosing to be a teacher. And if you can see my face, I sincerely mean, I'm going to tell you over and over and over again, we love you.
Yes.
We love all of you for choosing Puyallup. I love you for teaching my own babies in this school district, because they have had a lot of you, and I'm just excited to celebrate you.
Yes.
So thanks, Strobel, for giving us the chance to be part of this adventure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Same. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
So that you don't miss an episode and you get your notifications.
Exactly.
So can't wait to share some stories with you all.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. Thanks for hosting. And Tandlers, we look forward to talking to you soon.